You're still watching the Afia Business Morning, and this is the Eastern Business Report, which is designed to bring you up to speed on business activities, issues and policies affecting businesses and the economy of the southeastern region of Nigeria. It comes right after Global Business on the Afia Business Morning. And interestingly, the countdown is on. It is about 1 week and 1 day to Christmas, and a lot of dynamics are playing out with reference to business activities and the homecoming fever. And on today's edition of the Eastern Business Report, we'll be doing a recap, maybe start off a recap, looking at the Southeast Business and Investment Summit lessons from real estate development. That's where we're going to be anchoring this conversation. This, of course, will form the basis of our session here together. My name is Ubong Kings. Welcome. Now, the Southeast Business and Investment Summit is what we're going to be looking at, the lessons from real estate development. And yes, indeed, the Southeast Business and Investment Summit 2024 service 2024, with the theme remaking the Southeast an economic powerhouse, has come to an end. However, the lessons learned have not been forgotten as it lingers on the need to push Ndigbo into action. And from the unveiling of the Ayimba Economic City, an integrated city with a tilt towards industrial activities, the question remains, or like I would love to ask, is how well can Ndigbo be positioned to take advantage of this development and further bring wholesome development to the southeastern part of Nigeria? Anyway, momentarily, I want to say this. I was opportuned to speak with the CEO, Ayimba Economic City Development Company, and he had quite a number of things to say. Let's just look at excerpts from that particular session, and when we come back, I'm going to be telling you, introducing my guest who is already seated with me in the studio to talk about all of this. Let's look at it quickly.
Thank you. Ayimba Economic City is an urban development in the southeast. It's in 3 local governments of Afia State, Okwa East, Okwa West, and Ogunabo. And the total area is 9,803 hectares of land. So you're talking about close to 10 kilometer square space. You can begin to imagine. It is the biggest urban development project in Africa today. Now, the idea is we're leveraging on what other people have done, especially China. We're building a startup city, and we're bringing old cities to connect to them, to connect to the new city we're building. And we're intervening on the infrastructure, external infrastructure, the road that will connect them. And power, water, and the things that will make it easy to do business in the place as a new city. And it has growth centers in manufacturing, logistics, entertainment, education, healthcare, and aviation. So it's a full, complete sustaining city on its own. This project was started in 2017. And a project of this nature takes a long time. I think we've done so well in terms of putting it together. Because to put this kind of project together takes a very long time. If you begin to imagine what it took to put Abuja together and build Abuja, because that's the kind of thing you're talking about. We have raised financing for the first phase. we will start second quarter of next year, 2025. We have raised $201.7 million for the phase of the project, and the equity of $86 million has been put together too. I will be modest that if this project takes off, the region is developed.
Oh, well, that's it. You heard from the man himself. He is the CEO, Ayimba Economic City Development Company, Dr. Dao Uzo, who took out the time to share with us right here on the program sometime last week with reference to this. But joining me on this conversation this morning is Engineer Chima Ike, who is the chairman of Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, Enugu State Chapter. It's good to have you join me. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Quickly, let's talk about this. What are your thoughts, first and foremost, on the just concluded project? I was opportune to see you there, but what are your thoughts, really, generally?
Wow, it's a big and massive project. You know, you can see it's a new city being organized that's going to be built, and Enugu is like a hub for this. Enugu is linked up to Abia, Owerri, Umuahia, Ebonyi, so it's like a central. And the new city, where they are talking about the connectivity of these infrastructures, both the rail, the aviation industry, the roads, the connectivity of this massive project. As you can hear, the chairman said that the equities and everything is in place. We have had this meeting for a while, and the just recent concluded summit is action. The action has started, and it's a collective action. We are all involved in it. We are working together to bring the Southeast as the best region in Nigeria and in Africa. So we have talked for so long, now is action time. So we're kicking off right now. From that moment, after the business, we went to Lion Business Park at Ezeago. Some part of it has started. So we're thinking of how to connect everything that's happening there. You get, so the right now for this development is now. So it's the time we're calling our people in diaspora in Nigeria, the Ndi-Igbo across the world. This is the time for the massive to join this Enyimba Economic Summits that were this new city being developed in Southeast. It's time for Ndi-Igbo in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, now let's look at something that was predominant during this particular event. One of the things that was said was the analogy that we have talked for too much, for too long. We've talked too much for too long and done very little. This analogy, I want us to dwell here a little longer. Do you think that has been one of the issues with our extraction? We've been too much of talk and little action.
Yes. We have done a lot of seminars, a lot of conferences, a lot of talk concerning development, and it hasn't been achieved all the while. But the good thing now is that it has come, and the time is now. And the good thing is that we have the governors, the private sectors, the individual who are ready for this to kick off. It's just like now, you know, we as an Ndi-Igbo, we are individually rich. Right. But collectively poor, based on this is the time we are coming together for we to do what we have been longing to do for a long time. So that's why I said it's kicking off. It has kicked off. The first quarter of 2025, we are going to see what this summit has transpired. Do you get? So the good thing is now, and the ideal thing is that the people in diaspora, the investors, the developers, key into this. It's a big project. That's why we are calling everybody to look into this and see how they can be a part of this. Because we have talked for so long. The action is now. We have started. So what are we waiting for? Ndi-Igbo, this is the time for us.
Okay, now let's talk real estate and development. How well would you say the Southeast has, fared in relevant and beneficial, the keywords, how well has the Southeast fared in relevant and beneficial real estate projects? I mean, compared to other regions of the country.
Wow. Do you know, Southeast has been very beneficial. Number one, Enugu. For instance, when when it comes to real estate, after Lagos, Abuja, where else do you count? Is Enugu. And Enugu being the hub, the business hub, the investors hub that link to other southeast, Owerri, Anambra, Onitsha, Ebonyi. So real estate has been thriving very well in Enugu State. We call it the return on investment in Enugu is huge. Me being the Red chairman can tell you that, because the way of business friendly the governor has made the real estate industry is make it to operate easy for us. For instance, the governor just launched GIS, the Enugu GIS system, that a land search, a land title document can be done within 48 hours. You can do it at the comfort of your home. You know, it gives credible and confident that the government is aware of the land you want to purchase. Meaning that when you're able to do a search at home, and you can get your title document, your CFO, your power of attorney, your deed of assignment registered under 24 hours, is a plus. And I give it to the governor, His Excellency Dr. Peter Mba. He has done so well. If you're in Enugu, you see the development, the massive development happening in town. Enugu is having a new face. It's decongesting the town. We have a new city called New Enugu. And it's really helping the real estate developers, because now Enugu is expanding. The housing achievement we want to achieve, the development is easier now because Enugu is decongesting. We have, just like for within the town, the new Enugu city, where it's being developed now, is a big infrastructure. A lot of real estate have invested in those areas. You know, we have the likes of the big players in Southeast, in diasporas, in Lagos. They are all now in Enugu because of what is happening. So I'm telling other people, all those investors, I'm telling the developers, the business minded people, this is his time and this is his time for Enugu. Be it in business, in manufacturing, in real estate, in development, wherever you want to invest, come to Enugu, because the government has made it easier for we to invest. The policies has made it easier for us to invest in real estate.
So in other words, this is more or less predicated on what the governor has been able to do to make it easy for business to happen.
Yes, and it's business friendly.
Yeah.
You know, you can see recently there's a lot of shows happening in Enugu. You know, as is a plus. There's a lot of businesses coming up, car manufacturing. There's a lot of estates springing up. When it comes to real estate, Enugu has the best and the largest estates in Southeast in general.
Okay, we'll hold you on your thoughts there. We'll take a short break at this moment. When we come back, we're going to be looking more into these issues, specifically how the Ayimba city is going to develop pretty much the southeastern extraction of Nigeria, how it's going to affect or trickle down to other ethnic or basically other geopolitical zones, and the impact of that on Ndi Enugu specifically. We'll take a break now. When we come back, more on this conversation after this time out. Stay tuned. It's good to have you rejoin us on the Eastern Business Report, and we have been talking about the aftermath, if you may, of the Southeast Business and Investment Summit Service 2024, and we have been pretty much focusing on the conversation around real estate development with special reference to the Ayimba Economic City project and all of that. And I still have with me in the studio engineer Chima Ike, who is the chairman, Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, Redan, Enugu State Chapter. But before the break, he did make mention quite a number of things, and one of the key things he did mention was the fact that, well, thanks to the governor of Enugu State, there is a more like conducive environment for a lot of things to happen. And we would continue from that line of conversation, but let's take this particular analysis now, okay, concerning the Ayimba Economic City project. I mean, there's a school of thought that opines that this project is expected not just to develop the Southeast, but by extension, other locations or geopolitical zones around it, including the South-South.
Yes.
What are your thoughts, really?
No, it's a good idea because we're looking for development around the regions, irrespective whether Southeast or South-South, because it still brings developments, provided there's an interconnectivities, the rails, the roads, the aviation, the train, so it will link up the whole environment, because we still need the refinery, the gas turbine, all these things are all interwoven. So it will be a good idea for the region to expand, but the concentration is Southeast and South-South. Ndibo, you get, so because we are ready for it, we are clamoring for it, we are pushing for this development to come as fast as possible, you know. So it's a good thing.
Okay, now tell me, you are the chairman, Redan Enugu State Chapter. How positioned is the Enugu State real estate sector to key in to this monumental development as far as the Ayimba Economic City is concerned?
Wow, you know, me being the chairman and into developments, one is going to give us more business in terms of development, expansion. Then on the other hand, we're going to provide the amenities, the infrastructures like housing, other things that we can do. So it's going to give the real estate business, you know, for those who is into investing, both commercial and residential, you know, because this is a big project that cut across the whole states. But Enugu is like a center for capital eastern states. You know, for an instance, it's easy to link up from Enugu to other states. So the development is going to cut across the whole states. You get? So, and in terms of real estate, there's a capacity. Ndibo has the capacity to develop the region. So this is bringing us closer for we to do what we're expected to do. So we are longing for this, and Ndibo is ready for it.
Ready for it. Now let's look at something. One of the key things that was discussed or mentioned, as it were, during the service program was the fact that we have quite a lot of monies coming to the country for diaspora remittances, and most of them coming from indigenes or persons from the Southeast extraction. But that in itself has not reflected in the development of the Southeast. Do you think there is a need for more diaspora remittances, as in people who are outside the country to keep sending in money, or there's a need for more regulation of how this money comes in and where the money goes to? Because it does clearly appear that when we're looking at the different geopolitical zones of the country, the Southeast by far margin is not as where it's supposed to be compared to all these geopolitical zones.
Yes, a lot of money has been coming in, quite all right. But you can see when you check where this money are going for, it's going for developments, it's going for infrastructures, it's going for housing. You know, because a lot of people in diaspora is investing more on housing because they want to have a piece of earth in Southeast. Because irrespective, some of them have been out for a while. So they want to bring back some of their wealth back home for developments. you know. And when you check the inflow, the development, the sales, we that are into development, a lot of chunk of them is in real estate, because that is, you know, real estate is capital intensive and is bulk. So most of them comes to real estate and other infrastructural development, like factory is coming up in Southeast. You know, coupled with these power plants that the whole governors are putting in place, at least they know Enugu is doing one, Abia is functional. So factories, development is coming up in Southeast. So some of all this money is being channeled in terms of development. So I'm very sure about that. So it's a good thing, it's a good idea. And the good thing is that the policies and the environment is conducive for this.
How about security? That's another issue that has been raised. I mean, well, that's one of the key things that was raised, that, well, we still need to work on security concern in this part of the climate, in the Southeast specifically.
Well, security is in place, ongoing. You know, security is not a one-man business, it's a collective business.
Yeah, true that.
But you can see that Enugu, we have cameras that do you know is working? It's working. People don't know that it's working. But it's a real-time view, So it's really working. And the crime in Enugu has reduced. And other governors are implementing this. So it's going to be a plus. You can see the violence last year is not the same like this year. This year has been a stable, and we are really enjoying the peace and security that is being in place at the moment.
Anyway, I wish I had more time to push this, but in case you are watching, you can do us the honors of going to, of course, our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel to be part of the conversation. Drop off a comment or two. Ask the questions you want for clarity at www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, remember you could hit the like button. You can also subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. And just so you know, I've been playing host to Engineer Chima Ike, who is the chairman. Redan is the acronym for the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, Enugu State Chapter. Thank you so much for being part of the show.
Thank you.
And just so you know, the Afia Business Morning is not yet over. Coming up next is Onye Afia. Thank you for your time. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Join us on Gyno Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breast size. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.